Now I have out my little cute tiny crock pot. This crock pot holds about 54 ounces of liquid, which is just enough to make some small cups of hot cocoa. So I have these mugs that hold 6 ounces, and with my children, even though they're 13, and they will tell me that's not enough, it's enough for y'all because y'all about to be hyped up. So how I make this crock pot cocoa, I'm going to use some sweetened condensed milk. If you don't know what's in condensed milk, let me see if I can get this up here. It says no artificial ingredients, just milk and sugar. So I'm going to pour that in, and this is 14 ounces. Yeah, look at that. This is going to give your crock pot cocoa that rich, velvety, creamy, chocolatey flavor that you want. Just put it all in there. And actually, I need a little spoon because starting this video and not prepared. So let me grab that real quick. Because you don't want to leave out any of this goodness. And again, you could be basic. You could just use water. Or you could just use regular milk. But it's Christmas. Gotta step up our game just a little bit. And even if you're not celebrating Christmas, you might have work off. Unless you're one of the people that work at our hospitals or our fire stations or you're a police officer. We appreciate your service, and hopefully no one's doing anything idiotic that makes you have to work any harder than you have to, because we know there's people right now, especially in the hospitals, that are being cared for, and someone has to work those shifts. But for those of you that are home, whether you're celebrating Christmas or not, it's a good day to, treat yourself. So anyway, got all that in there. Then, gonna add in water, because obviously we need that, because this would be way too rich. So I'm just gonna stir that in to kind of incorporate that with the evaporated milk. And what you want to have happen, you want to stir this in, and you want to get your crock pot going. And what is super important is to not put in your cocoa until this is warm, because you want it to dissolve evenly, and you don't want it to be grainy or cakey, because that is not a good look. It don't taste good. It gives people weird texture, and almost everybody in my family has some type of sensory texture issues when it comes to eating food, and so I try to be really intentional about that. Now, because I know I need a little space at the top to put the cocoa in, I'm not going to fill it all the way up to the top, because that's not wise. Because how are you going to add something else to this and have it fill all the way to the top? So what I'm going to do is add a little bit more water to this mixture. And I'm getting it from my fridge right now. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. And I'm going to add that in, and I'm going to incorporate that as well. And that's good. I'm not going to fill it up any more than that. I might later, but not right now. And if you're wondering what cocoa I'm going to put in here, I'm going to put in some special cocoa. I'm going to put in this Picari cocoa. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I got this in Quito, Ecuador, at the Equator Museum. So in that museum, you can walk on this red line where you are on the equator. And also you can step 1 foot in one side of the equator and 1 foot on the other side of the equator. But anyway, at that museum, we learned a lot about chocolate and how, based on the soil, based on what's growing around the chocolate, how that changes the chocolate profile. And we got to taste this Picari chocolate, and we got to taste so many different types of this Picari chocolate. So I'm like, I definitely got to buy this. So I just opened this today. I've had this. We were in Ecuador. Then we went to the Galapagos Islands. We were there from April 1st to the 9th. So I'm like, let me get this. So I've been waiting, y'all, since spring break of 2024 to bust open this cocoa. So I'll let y'all know how this tastes. I'm going to turn this on and start getting this warm. And then the other thing I'm going to add are some cinnamon sticks. If you saw my last video, you know I'm low on cinnamon, but I always got a little backup. So I'm gonna add that in there a little bit later. And I probably need a part 2 for this video after I incorporate in the cocoa. So stay tuned.